We welcome you back to Tucson. These are the Pac-10 Women's Gymnastics Championships. Barry Tompkins, Kathy Johnson-Clark telling you about it. As we move along now to our 5th rotation. After 4 rotations, here's the way things stand. And again, remember that some teams, as Oregon State and Arizona State, they have already had 3 disciplines here, whereas UCLA, Stanford, and the rest of them have not. So you might look at UCLA, Stanford, and it's very close, Kathy.
Yes, they gained ground on them. Stanford did at the last event. UCLA just wasn't quite as sharp as they usually are on vault. Didn't stick the landings. They were nice in the air. But you got to have those stuck landings to really get the big, giant scores. So they're only 1/10 of a point apart, and I think Stanford smells a little blood.
Well, and as we said this in the very beginning, but they seem to come up for the bigger meets, and this, of course, is the bigger meet.
Well, this is the time to take advantage of just a little bit of leeway in there with UCLA's performance. Still great, and they've got more to do. Believe me, UCLA can still more than do it. But Stanford must be pretty psyched right now to come out strong on floor.
Well, here's the Stanford team. Floor exercise. Normally a pretty good discipline for them, is it not?
This is a team that has really, really worked hard and have been pushed hard. They're lean in the sense that they don't have the depth. There have been competitions throughout the season where they've literally competed 5 gymnasts and counted 5 gymnasts. So they have counted so heavily on their all-around gymnasts. They're a little tired, a little beat up, but this is the time to do it. They're seniors, most of the team, and they have yet to really do what they'd like to do at nationals. So they're starting their push right now.
Shelly Goldberg, very good first tumbling run.
Ooh, that was up in the air. He's competing 2 events for Stanford. They have several gymnasts out with injuries. They've had shoulder surgeries and ankle surgeries that they just haven't come back from yet. So they're resting some of their athletes as they come back. Performance. So one of the exciting things about collegiate gymnastics is that on these teams you have Olympians and World Championship team members and other athletes that might have competed up to the level 10, weren't quite elite. They compete alongside Olympians. It raises the level of their gymnastics. Very exciting. They're getting big scores right alongside gymnasts who have competed at the highest level of their sport.
Yeah, I thought she did a terrific job. Now, she was the leadoff, so let's see how they score her.
A very critical position. Lead-off position is, as we've said many times, like the lead-off batter. They are counted on to get on base no matter what. They've got to hit. They have to come up with a big score. Maybe not the biggest score in the event. They will build to those, but you've got to start them off at a high pace.
Tacia Labatte of University of Washington on the bars. While we await the score for Shelly Goldberg, we'll give it to you as soon as we have it. Labatte will step backward. Lindsay Wing will be next up for Stanford. We're waiting on the score for Shelly Goldberg. And you talked about that first score. It sets a tone, remember, and generally speaking, of course, even though that might have been perfect, she's not going to get anywhere near perfect because you got to leave room.
Now watch this floor exercise coming up. She has come so far in terms of her performance level and quality. When she was a freshman, it's almost like she did shy gymnastics. Good gymnastics, high level of difficulty, very clean, very precise, but very internal within herself. She's now, just watch, expressing to the audience.
Gave Shelly Goldberg a 9.8. 9.85 for Shelly Goldberg. That's a pretty good first score. Pretty good.
Keep in mind, especially for these seniors, Pac-10 Pac-10 titles and success here for bragging rights. It's something. It's a title that stays with you. Goes in the books. So big incentive here to do well.
Lindsay of Stanford.
Very few deductions in there. Hard to find them. She's quite clean. As I said, performing at a much higher level now. Much more expressive in her dance.
This is Carly. Well, let's take a look at Lindsay Wing again.
Ends with a double twist. There's certainly more difficult passes that we've seen from the UCLA gymnasts on this event. But as I've stressed before, most of these gymnasts are still coming out of a 10-0. So there's not as much incentive to do harder passes at the end. Those that can do.
Carly Dockendorf on the bars.
Former Pac-10 champion. Look at the height of that release move. Just absolutely incredible. Nice amplitude. That's what the word was invented for. Skills like that.
You and Bart Carner are the only people I've ever heard use it.
Look at that.
Perfect.
Nice position in the air. I'd be smiling too.
Caroline Fluhrer of Stanford.
And this is one of the prettiest routines in the whole competition. I watched her warm up. She has some of the best dance in the competition. Very nice lines.
Lindsay Wing, incidentally, 9.85.
Caroline is ranked, tied for 20th in the nation. Everything is extended and just stretched to the maximum.
Big deep breath.
Oh,
skip.
Little low on that last tumbling pass.
So Caroline Fluhrer, and we will have her score when we come back. These are the Women's Pac-10 Gymnastics Championships.